Hello, everyone, and welcome to Down Bad, the self-help podcast where I, Jodi Johnson, talk about everything mental health related, from the challenges that we face to the celebrations that take place. On the show, I use my vulnerability in hopes that the more we as humans talk, share, and work together, the more we make mental health care accessible and acceptable for every single human being out there. This journey is yours and no one else's. Not your mom's, your dad's, your siblings, your significant others, your neighbors, no one's. It's yours every single step of the way. So thanks for being here and staying true to yourself, even in times of uncertainty and discomfort. New episodes release every Thursday. Hello, everyone, and happy World Mental Health Day. I couldn't think of a more perfect day to start doing video recorded episodes, but here we are. You'll have to forgive whatever I look/sound like right now, but that's because my body's fighting off a viral infection. I couldn't think of a more perfect day to sit down and talk about what I wanted to talk about today, because I'm praying for every single human out there that they have the right to the highest standard of mental health attainable. Not only is that the right to liberty, independence, and inclusion in their communities, but it's also having the right to available, accessible, acceptable, and good quality care. So I couldn't tell you how thrilled and just excited I am to start sharing these episodes of Down Bad with you guys in video format. Like, I'm absolutely gassed, guys. It has been requested by so many of you to start doing these in video. And, I can kind of see why, because I wasn't feeling too good because I'm sick. But then I threw on my sunglasses. Now I feel like Morpheus from The Matrix. So I feel really, really good. I see the vision, guys. I think I can work with this. But yeah, welcome to the new studio. Unfortunately, you guys didn't get to see all the creative spaces that I recorded my episodes in before. But since I have this extra room in my apartment now, I'm kind of using it as my office/podcast studio. So yeah, while this is an International Day for global mental health education, awareness, and advocacy against social stigma, what I want to do is place an emphasis on making mental health a priority every single day. Our mental health is vital to our overall health and well-being. So that's why I centered this entire episode around balancing and prioritizing your mental health. Balance does not necessarily mean that you have an equal amount of time for everything in your mental, physical, and social health triangle. The balance that I'm trying to talk about in this episode is how you specifically manage and prioritize what is most important to you every day, so that you can maintain an emotional balance that supports your overall health and well-being. Because you're a human being and you have every right to prioritize your mental health. And I don't care if you're a man, woman, transgender. I don't care your race, religion, sexual orientation. I couldn't give a fuck about anything, to be honest. You're here. You're a human. You deserve to be able to prioritize your mental health. Because your mental health has an impact on your overall health and well-being, and you're still a member of my community. No one should ever call you names or discourage you from seeking treatment for your mental health. And most importantly, not a single person knows truly what the fuck you're going through up here. Remember that. No one else in this world knows what you're going through up in here. Yeah, they can have compassion for you and empathize with you, but nobody truly feels what is going on up here while you do. Okay, just a couple of things before we truly jump into today's topic. In just 45 days, I'll be running the 2024 Philadelphia Marathon with Team Active Minds, and I couldn't be more excited. If you guys don't know what Active Minds is, if you've never heard me talk about it before, it's a nonprofit organization that's dedicated to promoting mental health, especially among young adults. So I couldn't be more thrilled to be fundraising with them. I fundraised with them the last few weeks, and I will be continuing that up until Philadelphia Marathon. I spent 6 months with them as an emerging scholars fellow. So I know a lot of people over there at Active Minds. Everyone is incredible. Everyone is so supportive, and I couldn't be more gassed to help them promote their mission. Philadelphia Marathon will be my first ever marathon, and I am being a little ballsy, and I'm hoping to break 3 hours and 30 minutes. I've been training really, really hard, and I know that this goal is a realistic goal for me. Some more exciting news is, as of literally yesterday, I found out that I will be recording my entire race on a GoPro. So afterwards, everybody is going to be able to access how my race truly went, and hopefully what it took to break 3 hours and 30 minutes of the marathon. My entire race, like leading up from leaving my apartment in the morning to arriving to warm up to 26.2 miles to what happens afterwards, will be accessible on my YouTube. So stay tuned for all that information. But guys, in order for me to get to the Philadelphia Marathon, it's really required me to prioritize my mental health every single day because of the physical demand that I'm placing on my body. And it's important to keep in mind that balance is going to look different for everyone. What works for me might not work for you. It might not work for you at all. But we as human beings, we find balance in similar ways. And the things that have really been helping me recently that I want to talk about today are practicing mindfulness, regularly exercising, and connecting with others / unplugging from social media. So let's dive into it. I think that practicing mindfulness is such an underrated skill because nothing else that I do is able to bring me to the present moment quite like mindfulness. This is really important to me because my mind wanders effortlessly. And having ADHD at times can feel like a curse when all you really want to do is be productive. So bringing my full attention to the present moment, being here right now, is really important to me. That's why I like recording these episodes, because it's hard to record a podcast episode by yourself. It requires you to be fully present with yourself so that you can truly tackle the topic or topics that you wanted to talk about. It's also important in my career going forward. I'm currently in a master's program studying to become a therapist. Would you want a therapist who's fully present, who's listening to you and your problems? Or would you want a therapist who's stuck in La La Land? Personally, I would rather not be stuck in La La Land. That movie had a really fucked up ending where Mia and Sebastian, in pursuit of their dreams, had to sacrifice their relationship. That's a little too similar to my current situation, except I'm not Ryan fucking Gosling, okay? So yeah, I would rather be stuck in the present moment than stuck in La La Land. But anyways, before I ramble on too far, mindfulness is contributing to our mental health by helping us become more aware of our thoughts and feelings, which can then help us manage our anxiety, depression, our stress, relationships, whether that's internally with ourselves or externally with the people around us, our attention and concentration, our emotional reactivity, insomnia and our sleeping problems, our blood pressure, our physical pain. Like, I'm sure the list can go on and on. But the thing about mindfulness is that it can come simply from being fully locked in on a task, or it could come from other proper techniques such as meditation, breathing, journaling, or yoga. Mindfulness is something that I rely on in my everyday life because I know how important it is for my overall well-being. Look, anxiety and stress are there to protect you from danger, right? But we have faulty systems that may protect us from false danger. Can you actually believe that our stress response system can actually prevent us from doing what we want or need to do, causing a cycle like avoidance? Well, it can. But when I practice breathing techniques like box breathing or the physiological sigh, I'm able to alleviate my current feelings of stress and anxiety to be more present. At nighttime, I have a lot of difficulty winding down because my ADHD wants to bounce off the walls and think of a million things, but it makes it very, very difficult to sleep. So sticking to a nightly routine, that's a recent tip that my therapist gave me because it's something that promotes good sleep. And that reminded me of me not practicing my nightly routine, which is journaling and listening to frequencies, because it helps me be mindful and wind down before I go to bed. Because if I don't, my mind often races and I find it difficult to fall to sleep. And if I still find it hard to fall asleep after I've done my nightly routine, then I either keep these frequencies on or I just focus on the sound of my AC and my fan while focusing on my bodily sensations so that I can wind down. And it is unreal how these practices help my mind slow down at night so that I can get the proper rest that I need. And I also engage in other mindfulness practices like hot yoga, which is a really, really good experience for me, except I really don't want to pay that much money right now to go to hot yoga. But I like it because it's physically challenging in a way unlike running, biking, swimming, or lifting, because it leaves me so spiritually and emotionally cleansed. But I want you guys to remember that you can practice mindfulness anywhere at any time, even if you're doing something else. And if you feel like you're drowning when you're doing something, do not panic. That's my biggest advice to people when I'm lifeguarding at the beach. It's like, if you're drowning, don't panic. If you panic, you're going to waste so much energy and you're going to decrease your chances of survival. Just stop, slow down, take a deep breath, observe your body, thoughts, and what you feel, process the possibilities you have, and go. Exercise is something else that is going to promote and improve your mental and emotional health. Exercise has been, and I think that it always will be, something that is going to support my mental health. I'm someone that runs 6 to 7 days a week. A, because I currently run cross country and track and field in college. B, because I'm training for Philadelphia Marathon. And C, the main reason, because I just love running that fucking much. I love running so much, truly. Remember when I told you guys earlier that you can be mindful anywhere at any time, even if you're doing other things? Well, that's true, because when I run, bike, swim, lift weights, yoga, all of these things give me the opportunity to be mindful and focus on the present moment. That's why I believe that exercise is such a healthy distraction, because there's so many stressors in our lives, especially if you're a student like me with deadlines and assignments. Well, that's true for work too, but I'm trying to balance both. Then there's also the mundanity, your social obligations, your task, and other things that you need to do. Exercising provides me with an outlet where I can control the stress that I'm experiencing. Do you know what I mean? Instead of staying in my head with the problems that I'm experiencing, I'm able to move into my body during a workout. At this time, I'm sort of turning my mind off. This is why my Sunday long run is probably my favorite workout of the week, because when I turn my mind off, oh my God, it's such a productive distraction, because I'm giving myself the clarity needed to return back to whatever problem I was facing with energy. Maybe it's a problem I needed to solve. Maybe it was a gravity problem and it had no solution. So what am I doing sitting there thinking about it using my brain? All of these reasons are kind of why, for me to have a much more productive day, it requires some sort of exercise in the morning. I sort of think of exercise in a way as my number one antidepressant and anti-anxiety medication. In fact, actually, when I'm off my meds, which I am right now, this is always one that I can rely on. This meaning exercise. While we exercise, our body's natural hormones are changing by reducing the release of stress hormones like cortisol, and we begin to release endorphins, which reduce pain and make us feel good. Also, more research is showing that exercise can actually help the formation of new neurons in our hippocampus, which is the part of our brain that's responsible for learning and memory. Not to mention that regular exercise is going to promote good sleep. And I have a bachelor's of arts in psych and I did a minor in biology, so I think I'm okay to say those things without people coming at me because it's not rocket science, to be honest with you. And I'm not a trainer or an exercise science specialist. I just know that you need to start and stay consistent. I also know how intimidating it can be to start something or pick something back up after a while. I mean, I didn't start running cross country and track and field until my senior year of college. Like, who picks up a sport their senior year of college? I mean, I ran track and field before, but not since high school, and I never ran cross country before in my life. I picked up a sport my senior year of college. Like, you can do whatever you truly put your mind up to. But I know how intimidating it is to start. I mean, I was scared. I hadn't gone to the gym in forever. When I started going to Planet Fitness again, I was intimidated to go in there. But you just need to start with something that you like or enjoy from the past that, that actually suits you. You need to start small and build up gradually because Rome was not built in a day, my boy. It was not. Neither were you. You took 9 months to pop out. Maybe shorter, maybe longer, but you were not built in a day. Right now, I'm holding myself accountable not only by posting on social media and stuff like that, but also keeping a personal diary and journal for my training and performance because now I have specific goals for my running this year for the first time. I haven't had goals for my running since probably my sophomore year of high school, which was like 7 years ago. I want to break 17 in the 5K, 27:30 in the 8K, and 3 hours, 30 minutes in my first full marathon. So anytime I look back to my plan / my diary, I can tweak whatever isn't working for me so that I can realistically work towards these goals brick by brick. And then the last thing that I want to talk to you guys about is our social connections because they are also important to our mental health. The Center for Disease Control even made social isolation and loneliness a national epidemic last year. When we're connected to others, it actually protects us from serious illness and diseases such as heart disease, stroke, dementia, as well as the increasing numbers of depression and anxiety. We have to be connected because we are social creatures. That's just a fact of life. Our relationships are important in our survival, especially the stable, supportive ones that we rely on when things really get tough in our lives, because they do get tough in our lives. The social connections that we form can give us, one, emotional support, which is something that we desperately need during hard times, or physical support, which we also desperately need in hard times, but can come in the form of, getting a ride to an appointment or some sort of favor that you need in desperate times. I know that without my social connections, I would not survive. That's a fact. I've had to rely on my social connections more in the recent months because of the things that have been going on in my life with grieving, with transitioning. Like, so many things have been going on in my life, and it's required me to rely on my social networks of people. Reaching out for help, that's been pivotal in balancing my mental health. I've had to reach out to friends, to mentors, to a therapist. Like, I've had to do all of these things to prioritize my mental health because there's so many things that I am currently committed to, and the last thing that I want is for my mental health to prevent me from achieving my dreams if it's something that I'm able to manage. And My mental health is worth it because I'm worth it. There is something so, so special to me and healing about spending time unplugged from social media while just sitting there and being present with others. To me, it's just another positive distraction. So, what I want you guys to remember on this day, October 10th, 2024, this year's World Mental Health Day, is that if you're listening to this right now, you have many things to be grateful for. You truly have so many things to be grateful for. I have many things to be grateful for. And all of us, every single one of us, deserves the highest standard of mental health that there is. It is our human right. So you owe it to yourself to be there for yourself every single day, to show up regardless of how you feel, to be there to lay the brick that is helping set the foundation for who you are as a person and moving forward. You matter. I don't know how many times I'm going to say that on this podcast, but you matter. Your mental health affects your overall health and well-being. You are a member of Earth. You are a member of my community. And what I want for you is the highest standard of mental health that there is, because you deserve it. That's really all I have for you guys today. Again, I am super thrilled to be able to record these episodes on video now for you guys. And if you're just listening to the audio version of this episode, that's fine as well. I love you guys. Thank you all for being here. If you'd like to help support me run the 2024 Philadelphia Marathon with Team Active Minds, I have links in my Instagram bio that I can post in the show notes of the episode. But other than that, see you guys next week. Bye-bye.